Hey gun enthusiasts of YouTube, it's your regular Joe Justin here, and I'm back today to give you my opinion on some targets and why I like to train with these. You know, and you're listening to a channel that's filmed by a regular guy, a regular Joe, for the regular Joes. So I'm giving my unbiased opinion here. What I want to talk about first is, you know, I'm going to show you a couple different targets. One's kind of what I generally go to for my self-defense training, kind of a drill target, and then kind of a target for sighting in and why I recommend them. First, I'm going to start off with the first target. I just happened to pick these up, but this is the target that I like to use. Now the reason I like to use this target, or at least this shot pattern, is because each of these squares, it's a 1 inch by 1 inch square. So when you're sighting in your rifle or getting to understand your handgun and where your sights lie and whatnot and where you're hitting, this is a great target because what you can do is, you know, obviously when you're sighting it in, you put your crosshairs right in the center, and let's say your shot placement lands here and you were aiming here. That means that you're 2 inches low and 2 inches to the right. So, you know, depending on how many clicks, let's say it's a scope that has the settings are a 1/4 inch per click, then that means that, you know, you would need to move 4 clicks to move your reticle an inch. So a lot of them are 1/2 inch. You know, it just makes it really easy to see where your shot placement is and to figure out how many clicks and what direction you need to move, whether it's windage or elevation. Another great feature about this target is it kind of like removes a little bit of the black and it turns the background orange. And I like that just because of the pure fact that it makes it easier to sight it in, especially if you don't have a spotting scope. It's just kind of a really nice target. You'll see there's a couple patterns. You can get these targets at Fleet Farm. There's a couple different patterns. There's one that does not have the lines going through, kind of like you see up here. I don't like that because a lot of times you'll be sighting it in your shot of land somewhere in here, and you know, I just want to see exactly rather than trying to, you know, guesstimate how many clicks. I like the fact that I can see an inch by inch square. So, you know, that's what I like to use. This is made by Companion Traps and Targets. So I mean, it's a great target. I don't know how many you get in this pack, but great target. Recommended for sighting in your rifles and whatnot. Now this next target is kind of, I like to use this for more of my like precision drills. You're not going to shoot this target at maybe 50 yards with the right optic, but this is more of like a 0 to 25 target. As you can see, they originally designed this target. This is another Champion target. They originally designed this for air guns and small bore calibers, like, you know, like the 22 and whatnot. I like to use it because I've got all these different targets to aim at. There's 10 of them, and the way I like to use this is I'll run a couple different drills. You know, I might start out by just warming up and trying to make sure I stay within this whole ring, you know, putting 3 to 5 shots in that ring, and then what I might do is try to move from target to target and make sure I'll fire, you know, like a 6 or a 12 shot group to 3 different targets, but try to keep it all within this. And you know, and you can do it at varying ranges too. I like to sometimes try to get my heart rate up by doing some push-ups or something like that beforehand, standing up, using my rifle or my pistol, and still trying to keep it within in that target. And you're not going to do it every time, but anyways, it gives you another way to kind of like improve your skills and make you a more precise shooter. I always kind of like these targets that have all the different, you can put the date, what caliber, what temperature, what time it is. If you really want to get crazy with it, it's just kind of nice to be able to, you know, if you keep some of your targets for, let's say, target analysis, then you can look back on it and say, hey, this is what I did on this date with this. So that's kind of neat. Next target I'm going to talk to you about is this Champion silhouette target. If you've watched any of my shooting videos, this is the one you've seen. Just happens to be that this just is the one that the only one I've been able to get out and do some live fire training with on camera. It takes a lot to get out there to record the live fire exercises because it requires a lot of camera editing. And I work a full-time 60-hour-a-week job, so that it's kind of hard to get back and do that. The last 3 videos that I did that included live fire, it took me 7 hours of editing to make those 3 videos possible, so it's kind of hard to get out there. But anyways, the reason I like to use these silhouette targets in my home defense training is because, for one, it gets you, this is going to sound really barbaric, but it gets you used to shooting at a human target. In that life and death situation, you don't have a whole lot of time. Let's say bad guy comes into your home and you need to defend your family. He's threatening your life. You know, you can't have those second thoughts about whether or not you should pull the trigger, because that could be life and death for you and your family. So so that's a big part of it. Also, it gets you used to not just looking through the crosshairs and looking for like a dot target on the other end. So that's the main reason I use it. It gives me, you know, more of a realistic way of training for those instances, and they're relatively the right size for a bigger size male, like and it's not really precision shooting for that matter. I can show you, don't mind the mess here. This is one of the targets from the live fire training, and as you can see, it has a couple different, you know, initially I was aiming for high chest. I went a couple for, in this area I was just aiming right about in here, and all of this is done by standing. I did some headshots and whatnot. So, you know, it's a large target. My shoulders are right here, so obviously your arms would be right in this area. And it'll, like I said, allows you to train in a realistic way for that matter. So that's about it for today, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. If you guys want to like the video, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. Comment. I'd like to hear some feedback, you know, see what you guys got to say, what you'd like to see. So thanks for watching. For Joe's by Joe, and you guys enjoy the rest of your week.